What's up, YouTube? This is Tonne, and this is my channel, Tonne. Before watching my video, please subscribe so you can keep up with me and see my past content as well as my future. I appreciate the support. But I'm making this video right now because this is basically about teachers, like teachers and students. So I'm sure everybody, has been seeing on social media where the teacher and the female student, they got to fighting in the classroom because the girl wanted her phone back. And, that's how it happened. So it's been a lot of people who have been, saying negative things about the teacher. And then it's a lot of people who's been supporting her. Like, for me, I support the woman because it is true. Like, when you a teacher, these kids, they can be very disrespectful and they will make attempts to put their hands on you and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I'm all for her defending herself. But I just wanted to talk about like when I used to be a teacher. See, I'm 29 years old now. And if I had the chance to get back in the classroom, go back to the teaching profession, it would be a hell no for me. Like, never. Like, when I graduated from college, I was 23 years old. And that was actually, I started teaching right after that. I was teaching sixth grade oral communication at this bad school here in Mississippi. And all I can say is, y'all, the kids, like, I wasn't a pushover teacher. Like, I was firm, everything else. I was firm. I was understanding. I was about coming to class, doing work. And then I tried to make learning fun the best way I could, to keep the kids engaged. And so you have a lot of kids that when they see a teacher who's really about their job and somebody who really does care about the kids, they'll show you respect, especially when they see that you're not scared of them. Like, you're not going to take no mess off them and nobody. All right, and so that's how that was. See, I taught sixth grade. That was the grade that I had. And my kids, they loved me very much, loved them too. It was just like I had a bunch of sons and daughters, because that's basically, that's what you are while they're at the school. You basically is like a substitute parent for the kids. And so, you learned a lot about them. And then those, who was bad as hell, they'll soon come, to appreciate you. And then they'll open up. And then, they'll do their work and things like that. But at the same time, you also got those students where no matter how nice you are to them, no matter how you try to, get them good advice on why you need to be here in school and why you need to act right and try to do your work, no matter how nice you are to them, they just will not give a damn and they will continue to disrespect you. When I was a teacher, some of those kids were bad as hell. They were bad as hell, y'all, and they were disrespectful as hell. Like, I had kids who would sit up here and they would literally be picking at me to my face, sitting up here like making crazy ass faces at me, like sitting up here even cussing me. Like, I remember it was this one time I was sitting there trying to talk to my class. We were having a serious conversation about why it wasn't good to, disrespect your teacher and basically just show out at school. And one of the students, he was a boy and he was bad as hell. That boy literally got on my fucking nerves every single day. And like I said, that's one of the students, I tried talking to him, to get him to see that, you can't keep acting like this. You can't come to school, keep showing out, getting in trouble and all that. And I mean, it just never got through to him. Now, you have a lot of kids where, part of the reason why they so down bad, is something that's going on outside of the school. It might be something that's going on at home, the type of life that they live in. I mean, that's understandable because if a person is living in pure hell every day, 24/7, the last thing that they are going to do is basically, try to be smiling and everything else, just depending. Because at the same time, you also got people who they going through a lot of shit, but they can still keep a happy face or at least try to. But like with this boy was evil as hell. I think he had failed the sixth grade maybe like twice. I think if I'm remembering that right. And see, I will never forget the day when I was sitting up here talking to my class, and then he got up, y'all, and he sat up here and he was like, bruh, shut the fuck up and stop talking to me. That's all you be doing is talking shit, stuff like that. And see, I let him, like I just told him, I was like, just leave my classroom. Just get the hell up out my classroom because I ain't finna play with you today. Just go. And, he got his ass up out of there. And while he was walking out that door, he was still, talking shit to me. And I just let it go. Like that's the type of disrespect that, teachers have to put up with when it comes to dealing with students. And so, it was, like other incidents where it was this damn boy, like he was real tall. He was real big, and he had failed the sixth grade twice. And I mean, he was basically a damn bully to some of the kids. Like, he would literally be picking at the kids, bullying them and all of that. And I remember that I got on to him one day about that. I was fussing at him and, telling him to leave that damn boy alone because I don't like no bullying shit. I don't like it. And, he is literally sitting up here, picking at me, y'all, like doing stuff like that, just making all sorts of, just doing crazy shit, just picking at me, thinking that shit was funny. And like I was telling that boy, I was telling him in so many words that if he didn't quit doing that shit, he was going to be sent back in the sixth grade again for another year. And I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, the type of bullshit that a teacher has to put up with when they're trying to make a living just like everybody else. Like, you have to be a special kind of person in order to be willing to go into the teaching profession because you're dealing with other people's kids from all types of different backgrounds, all types of different races and, stuff like that. And, you don't know nothing about these kids until you get in the classroom with them and you see them on day-to-day basis. And I mean, the first ever incident that I did have when I was teaching is when I was in training. I had basically, I was in class and the teacher who was supposed to be in there with me that day, she wasn't there. I'm trying to remember if this was during the regular school year or if it was summer school because I said I was in training, but I really can't remember that, y'all, because it was so long ago. But I was, teaching the class, and this student, he kept falling asleep in class. And I kept basically having to wake him up, like, too many times. Like, I would be sitting up here, teaching, talking, asking questions, and every time I looked up, he was steady going to sleep. Okay, and so the way I handled the situation, because see, I'm not one of those, I wasn't one of those low-down, dirty teachers where I'll just, just start yelling and fussing at the student out of nowhere. I waited until class was over with, and then that's when it was just me and him in the classroom, because my other class, they were waiting outside the door, and see, I was sitting up there talking to him. And I was explaining to him in so many words that you can't keep falling asleep like this in class because, like the administrators and stuff, they be sometimes coming into the classroom, to check things out or, just peeping in through the door to make sure that, everything's going good. And see, like I explained to him, if they, would have seen him sleeping, he wasn't gonna get in trouble. I was gonna be the one to get in trouble because, it looking like, you basically just letting him sleep in class. And, it was just a good talk, and he understood, and he left on up out of there and went to his next class, and I let my next class enter on into the room. So the next day, y'all, the same thing happened. The same thing. He was falling asleep, and I know I woke him up like 3 times. And when he did it, for the 4th time, that's when I stood up here and, I opened up the door and I told him, that he had to go. And so he was just looking around the classroom, y'all, like, who the fuck is this man talking to? And, I said it again. Like I told him, I said, you already know I'm talking to you. Get up and just come on out and go on up to the office, and I'll send your referral. And it was just some, y'all, like, perfect example of disrespect. This boy was getting up out that damn seat because, see, he had failed the 6th grade twice. I remember that so well. I do. And he sat up here and he was getting up out that damn seat. And this boy was sitting up here just talking shit to me, an adult, your teacher. I mean, cussing me, everything else. And I mean, coming my way because I'm right there at the doorway. And see, he done gathered up his things and that mouth is just going and going. And then that's when, he looked down at my feet because I think this happened on a Friday. I want to say a Friday because Fridays is when the teachers could dress down and wear normal clothes to school. But since this was summer, y'all, I can't remember if we was sitting up there wearing normal clothes to school every day or not. I just can't because, hell, it was so damn long ago. That was back in 2017, and see, this is 2023. But, like, I remember what I had on. I had on a gray. It was a black and gray, no smoking shirt because it had the symbol of a cigarette right here, with the little sign on it, for no smoking. And then I had on some black sweatpants, and they had the gray lines going down on both sides. And then I had on a pair of Nike Air Force Ones. They were gray, and they looked good because I always done took good care of my shoes. But, like, that boy sat up here, and he looked down at my shoes, and he gonna tell me with them busted-ass shoes on, I let that one go. And then that's when, he's going to tell me, gonna say with your applehead ass. Y'all, it was just bad. I sat up here and, me and him, we had words. It didn't get physical. But, we sat up there and we had an exchange of words when he was going out that door. And then when he was sitting up there going up that hallway, that's when another teacher had came out the room, my teacher who was next door. And, when that teacher came out the room, that's when the boy basically started punching the damn lockers and shit, acting like that, he was ready to come back and fight me. And see, at that point, I wasn't even, worried about that because I know how to keep it professional and stuff like that. But see, I've always thanked the Lord that boy, didn't put his hands on me because just like how that teacher, just like how she defended herself against that female student that was basically, trying to fight her about getting her phone back, me and that boy, we would have been fine too. And see, I'm just glad that it didn't go there. I am. And I mean, that type of stuff, that's the type of stuff the teachers have to put up with. And see, you have people who love to basically, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's like they will sit up and they will take up for these badass kids for being disrespectful to the adult, the person who's in charge of them at work. And then we talking about in a damn classroom, all day, depending on, the hours. Like when I was in school, our hour of school was going from 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the evening. That's how it was. And I mean, it was just so fucking disrespectful to me. And then next thing you know, I set up here and I had to meet with I met with like one of the, I want to say, administrators, but that man might have been the superintendent. I can't remember. But like, we sat in a classroom. It was just me and him. He sat in the desk, and then I sat in the desk across from him. And we had a conversation about the incident. So, y'all, in so many words, this man was basically trying to put everything on me and trying to make it seem like that it was my damn fault that, the situation escalated the way it did. And see, I wasn't finna sit up there and sit there and let no type of shit like that go down. Because he's going to basically explain to me, y'all, that he was friends with the young man's dad, and that the boy was basically on medication. And I think that he said that the boy had been going to like counseling and stuff like that for his anger. And this man is going to basically tell me, y'all, that if I would have sat up there and thought about that, like it was something like that, if I would have thought about that or did my homework, that might wouldn't have happened. And like I sat up here and told him, first of all, I'm a new teacher. I'm fresh out of college. I'm a new teacher just stepping into this profession. So doing that type of stuff didn't even occur to me. Number two, if you sitting up here knowing that I'm a new teacher here at this school and that I'm just coming out of college and all of that, it should have occurred to you or somebody else that y'all should have, like spoke with me, gave me some advice on the kids that I was going to be teaching, if it could have been done, gave me some medical records, like let me know some about these students. Because if y'all would have stood up here and told me something ahead of time and gave me important information like this, that situation wouldn't have never taken place, and I wouldn't have stood up there and ever opened up the door and told him to get up out the classroom. I mean, how the hell did I supposed to know that? And I'm, a new teacher. Like, that happened over the summer. I was in training, y'all. Like, how did I supposed to know that? Okay. And I mean, it went, and then like he just kept trying it, y'all. Sitting up here gonna tell me, talking about that I done sit up here and I done missed some time out of my classroom, on that day. Talking about that we sitting up there talking about that situation, and I could have been in classroom still teaching. And like I told his ass, I was like, well, first of all, I was sitting up here in the break room talking to another teacher about, the incident. And you were basically standing outside the door eavesdropping. And you opened up the door and you asked me to step next door with you up in this classroom. And you are the one who stood up here and basically opened up this topic for discussion. And so the reason that I'm not up in my classroom right now teaching is not my fault. It's yours, because you're the one who pulled me into this classroom and you want to sit down and talk about this. Like, I'm one of them folks where I'm smart as hell, because if I wanted to, y'all, like, I still wish I would have did it back then when I was getting ready to go to college. I wish I would have, went to law school or something. Like, I should have went to law school, because, like, I'm just happy that I'm a smart person, because you're not finna sit up here and try to put something on me that's not my damn fault. You're not. And see, that's the thing that I learned, because I done taught twice. That was my first time teaching again. Fresh out of college, 23 years old, new to the profession back then. And so I learned back then, exactly how low down and dirty the school system could be. And, just how bad these damn kids could be. Like, it was just bad. Because, like, during that same time, that summer that I was sitting up here, training, I broke up a fight between what I thought was two damn students. I was basically standing on the outside with the other teachers because I was the only male teacher out there, and the other males, they was inside of the cafeteria watching the kids eat. And like I was the only male teacher on the outside along with the female teachers. And see, I was just, watching the kids just like they were. And so next thing I know, I look up, it's this real tall dude with dreads in his head. And then it was this, this big girl. She was a heavyset girl. And I thought that, he was playing at first because, the way he was talking and everything, he was a real feminine dude. I don't want to say that the dude was gay, but I think he was. But like, all I know is we all looked over there, and he had a big ass belt in his hand, and then he had the girl by her arm. It was her arm or her wrist, something like that, or maybe her shoulder. But he sat up here and he was saying something talking about he was finna whoop her ass. And see, the way he said it and everything, to me, I thought that he was just playing. And then that's when he started to swing the belt. And then he really started hitting the girl on her thigh with the belt, her thighs and her legs. And that's when, I seen that he wasn't playing. And then it sure enough was on when the girl basically punched him in his face. Like, she basically punched him dead in his damn face. And I mean, with me being a teacher, like, that was my job and everything. So I automatically go into that mode where I'm like, I gotta break up this fight. I gotta, I gotta stop this so won't nobody get hurt and all of that. And see, I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9", and see, I was smaller back then. And see, he was tall. Like, that dude had to be maybe like, he had to be maybe like 6'1", maybe 6'2". And see, that girl, like I said, she wasn't that big, but that girl, she was tall too. So I basically ran over there as fast as I could, y'all. And like, it was so crazy, trying to break that fight up. Because like, I was the only teacher, like, when nobody else tried to help break it up, like, I was the only one, y'all, who literally was there breaking up that fight. And I know damn well that they seen that up in that cafeteria. I mean, hello, it got windows, and I know damn well y'all seeing, this shit, and seeing me, a new teacher, out there trying to break up the damn fight. And these female teachers, like, I wanted to, get mad at them for not helping me, but at the same time, I'm just like, well, these are women, and they done been here longer than me, so maybe, they just, like, let them fight, I guess. Like, it was crazy. But, like, I couldn't sit up here and hold both of them back. And so what I did, I basically went for him, because since he had that damn long ass belt and was swinging it and stuff, that could be considered as a damn weapon. And so what I did, I basically got behind him and I locked his arms up, or you can say hands, whatever, but I sat up here and I locked his arms up, behind his head so he couldn't swing it no damn more. And see, I was trying to hold him, and see, she was sitting up here punching him in his damn face. And I'm just sitting up here, struggling, I'm holding him, and I'm just thinking to myself, where the fuck, why I ain't got no damn help over here? Like, where the fuck is security or whoever? And see, y'all, finally, security decided that they wanted to bring their asses on after that shit done home. It was two of them, two men, and they was running and all that. And, after it was all said and done, they basically took both of them away. So that was the first time that I sat there and broke up a damn fight. And I actually think like that was my first week of, summer school teaching. So the next day, they called me to the office, and I sat down and we were talking about it. And next thing I know, they informed me, they was like, the young man, he was another teacher in training just like I was. The only difference was I was sitting up here on the middle school side, and he was on the high school side. He was sitting up there getting trained to teach high school. And the next fucked up part about this scenario, y'all, the girl that he was fighting was his damn cousin. And from what was explained to me, they basically had family drama that they brought to school, and that's why that fight went down the way it did. Y'all, it was just bad. That's all I can say. I had never been in a situation like that before. And I mean, like, that was before, I got into it with the young man who was sleeping in class and all that other little stuff. But, teachers, teachers deserve to get paid, real good money. They deserve it because, like, that's one job where your life is being put on the line day by day. You being around other people, kids. You don't know if these kids like got it all together in their heads or if some of them are unstable. They can go home and lie to their parents and say shit, and you know how the parents ready to fight you and all of that. Like, teaching is a very, very hard profession to do. And I mean, like, that lady, I do not fault her. I don't blame her for what she did because that woman was defending herself because these kids are disrespectful as fuck this day and time. Like, they basically think that they can just come to school. They think that they don't have to do no damn work. Like, it's not all the kids. You do got some who do believe in doing their damn work and who do want to make something out of themselves. But you just have so many where all they want to do is fight. They just want to, talk shit to each other, talk shit to the teacher. And I mean, if a teacher done took your damn phone from you, with you being a damn student, I mean, yeah, of course, you got the right to get mad. Hell, when I was in high school, the teachers would take, the kids' phone and stuff like that, and they would get mad. But see, the thing is, they didn't ever try to fight the teachers or anything like that because they knew better. Like, they knew their parents would beat the fuck out of them if they did some shit like that. And I mean, it's just like this is a whole new generation. And I mean, the parents are young, they're having babies, so it's basically babies having babies, and you just like, so you sitting up here, taking up for your son's fucked up behavior, you're taking up for your daughter's fucked up behavior, like, that stuff ain't right. If a teacher done basically took a phone from a student and they done put it up in the desk and they're telling them that they can get it back at the end of class, or they gotta go get it to the office, because you got some schools where they'll take it and turn it into the office and the parent will have to come up there and get the phone back. If that done took place, the student don't need to do nothing but just sit the fuck down and shut up and just keep doing their damn work. But again, this is a whole new generation. Disrespect, that's a real big word with this generation, because they feel like that they don't have to follow no rules or anything like that. So that lady fighting that girl, I don't blame that woman. Like, what was that woman gonna do? Was she going to, sit there and let the girl beat her ass? Like, if the woman would have sat there and let the girl beat her ass, the girl, it would have been her, I'm guessing, to just be in trouble or whatever, because I believe that woman would have pressed charges, on her. But I mean, ain't nobody finna sit up here and let nobody, child or adult, fight them and not defend themselves. And see, because that woman, because that teacher, she sat up here and, she fought the girl back and defended herself. She got in trouble, and, all types of bullshit that came out of it. And I'm just like, one thing that I wish, the school boards or whoever is like over the rules of what goes down in the classroom, hell, even the laws, I just wish that it would just be some adjustments made, because in that type of scenario, if you have a student who basically approaches the teacher, because keep in mind, the teacher was in her right area behind that damn desk, and the student should have had her ass at her desk sitting the fuck down doing her work. But instead, she got up and she walked on and got behind that woman's desk and was trying to take her phone back. And I mean, did it ever occur to people, like the ones who sitting up here talking about that the teacher was wrong and stuff? Did it ever occur to y'all that if the girl would have just kept her ass in her area sitting down and never walked over there to that teacher's area, that wouldn't have never went down, and that whole situation would have been avoided? But see, the people who sitting up here, trying to go against that teacher for that, they are basically, it shows you just how low down and dirty they are. And that if that would have been their child in that scenario, they would be mad at their teacher and ready to fight that woman too. And, maybe press charges against her. But the thing is, if it's that type of scenario that done played out where the teacher done took the phone from the student and the teacher is in her own area, nowhere near the student, and the student gets up and go into her area and is trying to force her to give back a phone that she had the right to take, you can't sit up here and get mad at that teacher for putting her hands on your child, because your child was a threat to her, and your child shouldn't have never went into that damn area to begin with. Whoop your child's ass, give her a ass whooping, give your child an ass whooping for sitting up there doing that, because she shouldn't have did it. And that's just the guy saying his truth. Like, if she would have just stayed sitting down and never walked up there to that lady, that wouldn't have never happened. And it's just the truth. She should have just left alone and, could have went home and told her mommy the phone got took and let her mommy handle it. Like, that's just all she had to do. Like, that whole incident could have been avoided. It could have been avoided just like that. But you got so many incidents where the students done pulled the type of stuff that girl done pulled before. And I mean, the teacher is the one who gets in trouble, lose their job and all of that. And you just be like, what kind of bullshit is this? Now, if the woman would have just sit up there and let the girl beat her ass and hurt her, it would have been another story, And I'm just like, wow, this world that we are living in, it is so fucked up to it ain't funny. Everybody just got to stay prayed up, and you just got to be careful every day. Wherever you go, you just got to be careful, because you never know who aiming and who gunning for you, because people don't care no more this day and time, y'all. But this is Tonne Odom, and this is my channel, Tonne Odom. Please, y'all, subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with me and see other videos by me. And thank y'all again for watching this. Those who watched it all the way through, thank you. And until next time, take care, y'all.